podcast network designed exclusively for indie creators like you. At Podcastic, we believe in the power of unique voices and fresh perspectives. We're here to amplify your passion and creativity, connecting you with a growing community of engaged listeners who crave original content. Podcastic is more than just a platform. It's a support system built for indie podcasters, offering a range of resources to help you succeed. From tailored promotional campaigns to professional production assistance, we're here to help you shine. Our intuitive platform makes it easy for you to be seen and heard. We do all the heavy lifting for you. You just show up and create. Plus, with our advanced analytics, you'll gain valuable insights into your audience's preferences, allowing you to refine your content and grow your fan base. Ignite your passion, expand your reach, and thrive with podcasting. Visit our website at www.podcasticlife.com to get started. Podcastic, the home for indie podcasts and content creators.
Every athlete, every person, every human being has an opportunity. Some opportunities don't come when you want them. But if you're prepared, good opportunities can happen. Always be ready, because you never know when your number is gonna get called. I'm not coming back. Emmy Apparel, encourage me, I'm young.
Hey, hey! Rise and grind for your daily news. Rise and grind, grinding just for you. Rise and grind when you don't have a clue. Rise, we've got the scoop for you. Yeah.
Oh shit, Lake having a stroke. Welcome to the Rise and Grind Morning Show. We do this every Monday through Friday, 9:15, 11:15, or whenever we decide to stop because we run our own shit. Listen, today is a good day. And it's the month of October where we celebrate women in business. And I got 3 beautiful women in business, and one just so happened to be the host of the show. But I don't need to talk about her right now. Well, I'm talking about myself. I'm all about me today. No, we just came back from Afros and Audio. It was a hell of a podcast conference in Baltimore. And I just learned that people in their own city is prejudiced.
Wow.
You cannot mention, you can't say Baltimore is part of the DMV. I'm like, what, you want to skip the city? I got to cross this. Never mind. It was weird. But shout out to the great food that we ate in Baltimore. It was good.
Love food.
Make sure I had a fried deviled egg. And when I say fucking incredible.
They have fried devil eggs here, but
no, they
you
don't.
need to watch your heart. Be about your business.
Did you go to Milds while you were there?
Huh?
Did you go to Milds?
We walked in,
okay.
and then we had to walk up 32 steps.
Yes, they did.
And me and Shani, we were tired.
I think it was the eggs.
So y'all earned that meal, huh?
We had to
y'all earned that meal, honestly.
No, but we left out. Because the menu wasn't appeasing to some people.
Oh, I thought it was theirs.
Can I say I'm so grateful to have these other women here? Because usually during his intro, when I start talking, when he talking, I get in trouble.
Hey, listen.
But then y'all start talking too.
I'm in hello because they guess.
Ooh.
Okay. So,
I did know better. No.
Yeah, see, I didn't hear him.
Don't worry about it, Paige. I'll cut it to you later. Today we got a beautiful young lady. But she's not here right now, so I'd like to introduce another beautiful young lady. She go by the name of Candace Page. She's a photographer, y'all. Candace, wave your hand so they know you. Okay, that's Candace. And then we got another pretty lady. She's all about her coffee. She go by the name of Tika. Miss Tika, she's the owner of Detroit Coffee Lodge.
That's his phone ringing?
Miss. So, no, it ain't my phone. That's her phone. You know her phone ringing off the hook. And then my beautiful host, the one and only. She always keep me laughing and smiling. She remind me of a female version of me. She say whatever the hell she want to, when she want to. I'm surprised she ain't cut me off. Lake Butler.
No, because I was gonna mention that I think that was a knock to the fact that I'm losing my hair under my wig, and the fact that I'm a tenor. You know, because I don't know what about me reminds you.
Lake.
I don't get it.
What you got on your cup?
I got some drink in my cup.
There you go, so.
I got water with chlorophyll. And then I have some green tea with lemon.
And then what's in the white cup?
My mom's watching. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Mind your business.
All right.
Good morning, Mommy.
And shout out to the one on the ones and twos, the one and only Miss Chantel. She held it down during the conference, y'all.
Yay.
When I said we showed out, Podcastic showed up and showed out. Everybody normally had 1 to 2 people with them. We went 8 strong, and it was so dope. Everybody was kind of impressed with what we did and how we talked. So
that's amazing. Was it some kind of secret meeting that you guys had that I wasn't invited to know about this trip?
Yep.
Okay.
It happened at Detroit Coffee Lounge.
Yeah, we had a Detroit Coffee Lounge.
Well, they didn't invite me. That was the whole point. I'm like, y'all went to Baltimore? They was talking about it last Tuesday like I wasn't sitting here. But tickets were already purchased. Advertisements was already running on the screen. And I'm like...
I mean...
I had plans for Sweeties Day.
That's about to say. So my question before you even get started, starting with you, Paige, how was your Sweeties Day?
It was good. I went to one of my friend's place.
Okay.
She was in this play called Hell of a Family Dinner or something like that.
Okay.
Up at Northwest. But it was nice.
That was a great weekend for plays.
So how about you, Lake? Never mind with you. He devoured. Can he walk?
He can definitely walk. We older now, so both nights we fell asleep early. but actually, I went all out. Like I said last week, I didn't want to mess up the surprise, so I made sure that I cooked him a 3-course meal. Set up the table formally because I thought about the money that you spend taking someone out to the restaurant when you could cook for them in love. Not only with that, I was able to provide the same meal for my son, my mom, and my dad.
We love it.
So they had lobster, Delmonico steaks, soup, salad, sweet potatoes, green beans, carrot cake for dessert.
That's dope. So where did you order
the
that
wrong
from?
cake for Sweeties Day.
Where did you order that from?
The fact that she was making answer, please. The Lakeland restaurant because I cooked well. I bought my meat from the Plum Hollow Meat Market. They had a seafood sale, and they have a grade A choice meat there, so you got to check them out. It's really small. On top of that, we went to a Halloween party. We were Little Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf.
So who was the Big Bad Wolf?
I was. Because I devoured him.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Actually, in that story, there's a version where Little Red Riding Hood is actually the bad guy.
I know. That's what I asked you.
So, you know what? I keep telling you, don't talk when I'm talking. And so then, so then on Sunday, I wanted to make it a 2-parter. So we watched the game. He's an Eagles fan. I'm a Lions fan. So we were able to go someplace that played both games.
Nice.
And then we ended the night with seeing Damien Escobar. And for those of you who have not seen Damien Escobar, please, please, please. He's a hip-hop violinist.
Yes.
You still talking when I'm talking. It wasn't your Sweeties Day. It was mine. You weren't even there.
I'm sorry.
Jesus. The end. Okay.
She said put some respect on her story, guys. Look, you interrupted her.
And my mommy said dinner was so good.
What did you do with your Sweeties Day?
So I'm embarrassed to say I forgot it was Sweeties Day.
A lot of people
just
did.
Be honest.
You single?
I
A lot of people
totally
did.
forgot it was Sweeties Day.
Are you single?
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm in a very committed, loving, great, wonderful, all that relationship. However, let's tie this whole topic together. Being a woman in business, I lost sight of the holiday.
Wow.
I did not know it was a holiday, so I ran out.
Tika G.
I know, it's crazy. So he called, he said, Happy Sweeties Day. He was like, I know that's important to you. I'm thinking, oh my God.
You like,
Exactly. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot it was Sweeties
Chanel,
Day.
hurry up, go to the mall.
And let's talk about that. I went to like 5 or 6 stores, could not find a card. Went to the mall to Hallmark. Couldn't find a card.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. So I, like a little kid,
Did you make one?
Every now and then you gotta play it off like that. Like, baby, I thought I would make it
Sometimes you
something
gotta
original.
pop up and show me.
I want to make it something original, baby.
But what happened to that holiday. I mean, I hadn't seen.
Come on, we can't hear you.
I had not seen any build up. I couldn't. What happened to the holiday?
First of all, it's a Midwest. It's a Midwest holiday.
No, that doesn't matter. I don't know why people keep responding with that answer. For those of us who live in Detroit, like she said, everybody is advertising.
For sure.
Sweetie's Day.
But anytime it's dealing with men, it's low advertising.
That's what it was nobody on the street.
Nobody on the corner.
Nobody selling nothing.
Like to your defense, my mom forgot. I literally walked in their house and I told my dad, I'm like, Happy Sweetie's Day, sweetie. And she was like, when is it? He was like, today. I'm like, so they've been married now 41 years. And
congratulations.
I know. Shout out to Joe and Siobhan. Yeah, they been married 41 years. And she was like, oh, baby, I'm sorry. Obviously, she made up for it that night. But she forgot too. Like,
that's what I'm talking about after 41 years.
Oh, my goodness, sir.
How would you feel if your girl forgot Sweetie's Day? Because technically they say that's the men's holiday, right?
Well, I wouldn't give a damn. I don't like holidays. Holidays remind me of good and bad times a lot of times.
See, that's our problem. Because he said to me, it's not important to me. And he always keeps saying, oh, I don't care anything about this. So you got to be careful. And don't say something's not important because then it becomes unimportant.
And I wonder, do men say that because women do not go all out for them? So after a while, you just don't become used to it.
Men say that because a lot of times we understand we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. And I'm being honest with you because men want to go for the good times in a sense. I mean, we just want to savor the moments of the good parts, right? So if something is forgotten, we're like, okay, don't worry about that. Let's do this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Women is more emotional. Like, you forgot Valentine's Day.
For sure.
And it's about a little gay boy who like to get arrows in his ass. And that's what Valentine's Day is about. Valentine's Day is about sodomy. I mean, if people do the history, it's about gay men. So that's what I'm talking about. The importance always should lie in what you believe in and what your morals and standards are. So
I think that lets people off the hook too easily, honestly.
Well, your ass got left off the hook.
I did. I agree with that.
But she was accountable and she went ahead and pivoted to go make it right.
No, she tried because she did not find a car.
She didn't find a car, but she went. You got something though, didn't you? Though
I did. I got something, and then I had to put everything into perspective because you can't just say it doesn't matter. And then I wondered if it's because he's always saying, "I don't care about that. It doesn't matter." And so you got to be very careful because somehow I believe you do care.
No, we don't.
I believe you do.
But you know what though? This man was talking about it the other day. He said so many times, man, where you're training women to not check in on you because you're constantly saying, "What's wrong?" And it's like nothing. It's like, "What's wrong?" And it's like nothing. Like, "What's wrong?" And it's like nothing. And it says, so you're now training women to not check in on you because every time we ask you what's wrong, you're saying nothing. And so we automatically see like, okay, assume like you have it then.
And if you look at the comments, we have Mr. Carr. He's like, that's because it wasn't no cards because they treat them like it's Father's Day. You know, like men are just disregarded.
Yeah,
you know, and
I agree.
Dermel said, "Wow, what happens if a man forgets Valentine's Day?"
Oh, we going to hell. And it's over.
We already I picture Plot is over there in row 39 next to Eve, and Michael Jackson is somewhere around there. You know?
For sure.
And like we talked about last week, it's very important.
You come back in. You could.
I don't understand this need for you to talk when I'm talking. I mean, like, I'm going to just quit. We got a caller? Okay. I think, like we talked about last week, it's really, really a shame that we do not show love for our people. You know, we just have to make sure that we're pouring on the men because, like you said, them saying it's okay is not always okay.
Yep.
And if you love a person, maybe it doesn't have to be okay for you.
Yeah.
Even if it's okay for them. That's always been one of the things. Like, I want to celebrate those that mess with me on a real basis, you know? So, what you gotta say about that?
No, I hold on. I think hold on. I'm caught. Okay. No, seriously, you were dead on with that because honestly, we talk about this a lot of times about relationships at the Rise of Ground Morning Show. Men and women perspectives of relationships are just totally different. I mean, and men compromise more than women for us. In daily life things, right? And we think women say, no, y'all don't. We do, we don't. But you don't got no kids, so shut up. But you don't have it, so shut up. The truth of the matter is that until we heal, it's gonna be hard for us to work as a collaborative 100%. You know what I mean? But right now, I will say this: the Rise and Grind Morning Show. We want to honor women every October, and we started doing this without knowing it was October, Women's Month. I don't know when Women's Month even came about.
Women's Month is in March.
Oh, so that's why
this is Breast Cancer Month.
Yep, and Domestic Violence Month as well.
So that's why we did it.
Oh wow.
No.
Whenever. Thank you for the celebration.
Because I think it's very important because you can't do nothing without a woman. You know what I mean? Very, very honest with you. They made a whole movie called Sausage Party, and it wasn't a good movie. It wasn't a good movie.
I know a lot of y'all wake up without a woman, and you do very well by yourselves. Because if I was by myself and I could do what you do, when you by yourself, it would be on and popping. I would never need a woman.
Wow.
Me personally.
You crazy as hell. But listen, the truth of the matter is, I'm not going to get late. Calm down. Stand down. Get your unhand me down.
What am I supposed to say? Hands up. I'm not armed. I mean, like, what's the? What am I supposed to say?
So talking about black.
Right.
Let's talk about black.
All I do is own my own business and an excellent woman. Now I can't be that.
There you go.
That cooked a really great meal for her mama, son, and husband.
No.
You see how you had the double back? You had the double back because every now and then we get somebody a title they ain't gonna have yet.
He's my guy though.
In the Bible, Jesus said you would not be respected in your own house. Listen, so let's go to today's topic. Today's topic is women in leadership, and we are speaking with three beautiful women who that stands by their own leadership and walk their own walk. So I think that's so dope for them. I want to start with Candace Page. Candace, this is a question you're gonna have to answer. How's that hibiscus? This is
what the hibiscus pineapple. It's amazing. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, I'm a straight tea drinker. I don't put anything in it, so I really like the elements.
There you go. So, tell everyone what's the name of your business.
I'm sorry, Candace Page Photography.
Good. So, what made you decide to go with photography?
I always loved photography since I was like a kid. But I was discouraged, like a lot of us are sometimes by it's terrible to say this to my parents, but just people, you know what I mean? Older people, more seasoned people. I was told that it was just a hobby. And so it was like, go be a doctor, be, a lawyer, and, the old school thing, be a firefighter. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's basically what they said. That's basically what they said. And so that's what I was going to do. And so I started going to school, I think, for like, I wanted to be a nurse originally. Then I found out it involved like blood and feces maybe. And I was like, I don't know if that's for me, And so I was like, I want somebody else to do that. But even though it's a lot of people doing it now, they're doing it just for the money. But we won't go there. That's a conversation for a different day. And then I was like, well, you know what? I'll go to school for pharmacy because I still want to do something to kind of change the world, save the world or whatever else. But I looked at my...
So selling weed?
I did a little bit of that in my heyday. You know what I mean? I was a pharmacist while I was a pharmacist. No, but seriously, yeah. And I looked at my pharmacist and his wife. She's like pregnant and they're there all the time. Like when I say they never get any breaks. And I was like... I don't think I want to live my life like this all the time. Well, why did I say that? Because after that, they told me that they couldn't pay for me to go to school anymore. They were like, figure it out. And at that point, I had to talk to I had to have a conversation with God. Like, so what is it that you would have me to do here? Because this is what I thought you wanted me to do. And God said, get back to your first love. And my first love was photography. And ever since then, here we are.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
I really believe in doing your first. I believe work with God gift. If you don't work with God gift, who are you to learn something from a man or a YouTube video? You know what I mean? If you don't use God, and biblically it say your gifts will open doors for you.
True.
So that's what definitely will be focusing on more so my gift. And you did. Congratulations.
And one of the things that I wanted to say is when I talk to young people, I try to pour that into them because I went to college for entrepreneurship. I grew up in a family business. I always had a camera. I remember having a Polaroid camera when I was younger.
Man, wasn't they nice?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm doing what he doing, but I'm sorry, but I'm like, they was nice.
It's okay when she do it?
No, it is okay because she's a powerful woman. But I remember always having that passion. I used to dream of being in a dark room, developing my own film and things of that nature. And when I came home from college, it was really a hard time to find a job. So I created my own calendars. I took my own photographs and everything. And it was kind of the same conversation, like, so what are you going to do with your life? What I did not equate to my life at the time was I just had a degree in entrepreneurship and I have a talent that I love. Turn your talent into a business. It took 19 years when COVID hit for me to go back to photography because now we had to create our own businesses. And it's like everything that you learn, you really don't like working for people. And the best thing about having your own is when you do work for people, you know you have your own. You know you're running your own thing. So you're able to function in an entrepreneurship mind frame and lifestyle.
That is very
but when I tell young people, if you're braiding hair or anything, like go right into that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like stick with it. There's people here that will support you. And believe it. Don't take another 20 years to be like, oh man, I want to go back to my first love. That's what most guys do.
Ooh.
Did I say ooh?
But you know what? You said a couple of things that I love, right? This
Hold
is what I
on.
would say.
You ain't gonna skip that shit. Hold on. Say that shit again, Lake.
I said most men like go back to their first love.
Yeah.
After they done went through hoes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good point. Next.
Okay, so you were saying
right. Yeah, so terrible. I love it though. But no, she said a couple of important things. I know you said you got back to it 19 or 20 years later, but maybe you got back to it right when God wanted you to get back to
Absolutely.
it. Right?
Amen. Amen.
You know, because and look, dig this, and like you said, like you work in your regular job, but I always did photography, and I always knew I had that, and I always knew I was building it. I was waiting for my exit date. You see what I'm saying? I went back, I got a job. Once I got pregnant with my daughter, I was like, okay, Lord, I got to figure something out, but we're going to make money for now, right? And I worked at a particular hospital. I'm not going to name drop no names. But I fought social injustices, racism, all type of stuff on so many levels. And I just got tired, you know. But the funny thing is we got to be careful what we ask God for.
Absolutely.
Because I had got hospitalized for the first time ever in my life. And I asked God, this is why I messed it up. And I guess I did exactly what God asked me to do. But I asked to go back to give somebody else the same great experience. And you got to be careful because he did just that. I asked a girl about what it was she did. And she's like, oh, this is what I do. Just apply. They call you in like 2 or 3 days. I'm like, that's a lie. They don't call you in 2 or 3 days. They never do. They never do, right? Yeah, they call me in 2 or 3 days. Okay. Got in there, got the job and everything. Worked there for 4 years. I mean, in there praying in lobbies with people, with my patients and everything like that. And I got to a point where I was tired of fighting all these social injustices and racism and all this stuff, right? I caught COVID. Okay, I was there when COVID started. So I caught COVID, didn't know what I had. We done passed that thing around several times, probably in the waiting room and in the scheduler's office where I work.
Why y'all was
and all those
praying?
things. Huh?
Why y'all was praying?
Cut it out.
You know, those particles.
Listen, God said you're not absent from trials just because you serve me. That's what you gotta know. That's what you gotta know, right?
I don't know what that means.
Jesus walking through.
In the word.
Yeah, but I was in there, and so I called my manager one day, and I was about to tell her that once I finally got better from COVID, I was about to tell her I was about to quit. And she was like, you called me to tell me that you were about to quit. And I said, and I did. I said, but God said not yet. But as soon as he tells me, you will be the first to know, right? So then my grandmother ended up getting sick. And my grandmother and my daughter, who's 8, shout out to Ema, they used to just listen to my dreams. And my grandma used to always just be like, well, just do it. Just like you said. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Right? I said, okay. My grandmother ended up passing. The day before my grandmother's funeral, I turned in my letter of resignation.
Right.
I was done. I was already done. God had already gave me my date.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but the way
you meant it. Go ahead.
It's okay. We can get back to it.
The way life is lifing, and I think that's the most empowering part about this point in time and about being able to run your own business is that you have to be able to see how short this thing can be.
Almost
and
definitely.
the fact that you're the only person that's going to live this life.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it? Which is probably like seeing your grandmother transition. Like my grandmother transitioned 6 weeks after my son was born. And it was like, wow, you know, I remember a whole life with her and that was just over. What am I going to do to tangibly leave something that has my name on it? And I'm not going to say shout out to Breast Cancer Month, but one of my clients, was honored at a Lions game, and she used one of my photographs, and nobody know that was my photograph that I took of her to celebrate her win. But when I seen it up there on the Megatron, I'm like, wow, that's me. That was my eye. And then she looked at it and was like, that was one of the most amazing reflections she have of herself and all the trials that she's going through. And I'm like, wow, I'm leaving these little specks of tangible things in this world.
That feels good.
It feels real good.
It feels real good. Speaking of breast cancer, speaking of cancer, period, I started something called BPAC. BPAC was Black Professionals Against Cancer.
Oh, we love it.
But that's probably the most emotional company I ever started. What I took anybody who had stage 3 or 4, and I give them a day of happiness. I mean, from the time they wait from breakfast all the way to the day end.
I'm so good at that. I want to do it.
I'm about to get back into it.
Anybody got cancer that want a good time?
That don't sound right. Man, all the men be calling you.
Wait a minute. Don't knock my advertising. I'll take prostate because that means the ding ain't gonna get hurt. I'm fine with that.
That's not necessarily true. So when I work
at nursing,
I'm just saying, when I worked at the hospital, I worked in the urology department. That's what I'm saying. Before I resigned, I was there for 4 years, and a lot of things can be done to make it work. There's a lot of implants that can happen. Yeah, I worked on that floor. It was a lot of stuff. The waist down, it got real interesting. It got really interesting.
Excuse me, Miss Page. No hand.
Nah, imagine coming to somebody saying like, and this is a cute version of like, my wank don't work, sir. How about good morning? How you doing? How can I help you?
I mean, because it ain't a good morning to him.
Yes, apparently not. But it's like, where my Viagra? Or they come in real quiet, like you got the sildenafil. Like, really, like, what you say? You got my Viagra. What you say, sir? Like, I'm not trying to.
You got the wood maker.
Yes, the longevity. Like it was interesting. But the real quick though, to get right back to the COVID thing or whatever. I resigned from my job, was homeschooling, and then I opened this studio that I have here, and I was only by the grace of God. And so I love how you said you encourage kids, like, just go ahead and just do it. Because like you said, sometimes it's, we think that we're waiting on God. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes God is waiting on us.
God
you ain't never lied.
Yeah. Sometimes we're waiting on him. God
you waiting on me.
Yeah.
I don't got to walk that walk.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Wait a minute. I gave you all the tools that you asked for. And when you talk about being very specific, like when you ask.
Hold on. I don't mean to cut you off.
You do mean to cut me off. That's the problem.
No,
all my friends are on this thread and they like, you ain't got no respect at your job. Like, you need to go is this what you decided to do with your life? You need to go work for somebody who got respect for you. Like them good white folks. Them good white folks don't talk when I'm talking.
No, I was gonna say your leg is shaking, I guess, because the back. My boy texted me like, "Hey man, who over there moving her chair like that?" Because the chair.
Who is that? Me?
No, her chair.
No, it's okay. I'll do it too.
The back of her chair like this. My boy like, dog, who over there?
And I can't.
You don't notice that you're doing
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Shout out to homie. We appreciate you, sir. Now, why would you do that?
He's like, you hire a chair shaker. So I'm like,
does he have cancer?
We
can make him the best day ever.
You got vibrating chairs over here? I need to come to that podcast.
Oh my God, why don't we have vibrating chairs?
Yeah, why don't you? She said she chose to do this. She want to be comfortable.
And I want my chair to vibrate.
Late, stop.
We'll have a real reason to switch it out.
Listen, y'all watching Rise and Grind Morning. Like, spill on aisle 8. Listen, y'all watching the Rise and Grind Morning show right here on Podcastic. We'll be right back. We're about to go to our first video of the day. We really appreciate y'all. Give us a call at 810-560-0658. 810-560-0658. Please call.
I'm tired of talking down.
Oh, yeah, for Cass.
810.
Wait a minute, I got to do it for Cass.
560-0658.
Now you got to do it for Renaissance. 8-1.
Please cut to a video.
All right, we got to go to video. We'll be right back.
There are no secrets. It is just bottom line of really thinking through leading from the front, not from the sidelines. Never ask anyone to do something that you're not willing to do. Never say anything to someone that you would not want being said to you. And 3, think about how people react to your words. And if there's any way that you can not soften it, but say it in such a way where it's encouraging, but really getting your point across to make sure everyone gets a very clear understanding.
Okay. Welcome back to the Rise and Grind Morning Show. And this morning we are talking about women in power. I just want to start off by saying that I may be failing in those tools that she just gave because I don't give a damn about what y'all think in the words that come out of my mouth. I have to shoot straight forward. That part of me is something that I found works for me as a leader because we don't have a lot of time to do this thing.
Yeah, true.
So I want to go straight to the point. We don't have a lot of time to be complaining about the same thing over and over again, talk about how we're going to change it, make a plan and stick to it. And I always believe in doing it small. Like when people are like, I can't do it because I need this huge space and I want to, and I'm like, well, what's wrong with the space that you have? Like even with the camera I have, I'm like, I don't even want to ask her what camera she has because you may shit on mine. But
you know what though? It's never, not to cut you off because I know that's Miles things. That ain't really my space. But it's never about the equipment. It's always about the shooter.
No, it is about the shooter, and I know that.
It's always about the shooter.
I know that.
Think about a sniper, baby. We take you out.
And what I will do is every day get up when somebody makes that call and say, Lake, I want you to capture my family or capture this important moment. I'm gonna pull that rebel out every time.
God, I need the grace that Lake got. She said she get a call every day. God, I need that call. Hello, this is your faithful servant again.
I don't. Wait a minute. I don't get it. Did I say every day? I was being specific.
No. She was, Lord. She's speaking specifically, and she spoke that into her life. It's already been released into the atmosphere. We gonna take that. We gonna receive. I'm gonna receive that for myself as well.
I'm gonna throw it to you because I'm gonna be real specific.
So close. That's what we're gonna do. Hallelujah.
I'm not sure if I want the call every day because. Like we were talking about before, I'm not ready. I don't want to do another wedding. And I mean that.
But you don't have to take the business every day. You know what I do? Even if I can't do it, I'll call one of my photography fans and I'll pass that business.
And I'll go in as a second shooter.
Yep, I'll pass that business and don't give me nothing because I want everybody to eat. You go do it. You see what I'm saying? You go make the money because we all got to eat out here. So if I don't want to do it, you see what I'm saying? Or if I don't have time to do it, if I'm already booked, I'm calling one of my friends. Hey, can you do this? Can you do this? This is the specifics. I don't know what you charge. This is what I usually charge. Now, if you need a meeting, if you charge below that, if your work is where it's supposed to be, charge that.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? Like, don't charge nothing less than that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll pass that really quickly. But we're gonna receive that every.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm known for firing clients. I don't give because my peace of mind is greater than anything, and I'm not gonna give it up. At first I was like, yeah, no problem, I'll take care of your boss. Hold on, wait a minute.
I'm the boss.
What the hell? This ain't gonna work. Shout out to Rufus Bartell. He taught me a very valuable lesson about how to handle business, and I'm like, yeah, y'all can go. You know what I mean? It's okay to fire a client. It really is. So, Lake, I'm going to turn it over to you. What has been your most memorable experience as a photographer?
You know what? I would say my most impactful experience would be that I have a family. Actually, over COVID, I was walking with some girls, T-shirt Tish. Shout out to T-shirt Tish. And she recommended me to a friend to shoot their engagement party. What I didn't know is that this friend group is so dope that they expand like 6 females. Out of those 6 females, each one of them have life moments and they celebrate each other. Like, I wish I was a part of their friend group. I'm just like the paid photographer now, which I feel kind of a part of their family.
You are. But
I'm not in like they in like their kids and birthday parties and it's just spilled over. One friend particularly, she had got all her husband's children together and it's 6 of these kids. And they did a Father's Day shoot. And then they came back for Christmas. And I shot them last Christmas. And then one of the young men, he just graduated. He was the president of his class. I did his prom send-off. His girlfriend was the vice president of their class. And I did his what do you call it, the going away party or the graduation party, the open house. And they have 3 more kids to graduate. And those kids, they done put me on their TikTok videos and they like, I'm graduating next year. I'll see you next year. She just called me to do a generational shoot because before She lose her great grandmother. She wants to get everybody together, and I'm like, wow. I tell people that I may not be the best photographer, but when you hire me, I will be your favorite because I am here for it. Like I say, I'm helping with decorations. I'm having like before these doors open, what do y'all need me to do? I can put this camera down and I'll use my other talents to make sure this whole thing is successful. And being a part of people's life moments, even when you're in the worst place ever, sometimes God gave you that talent to keep you off the ledge. You know, some days it has kept me, it'll save my life.
Yeah.
You know,
having a heart works. You know what I mean? Most of the time, most people don't have heart, right? Yeah. But they find themselves in the worst predicaments. Yeah. And the reason why they're in the worst predicaments is because they haven't even found a way to love themselves. But like Lake said, she found a way to bring enjoyment to other people's lives. That's me. Like I could be low as hell. I mean, I could be lower than the belly of a snake some days, and I'd be like, all right, let me take off my shirt and make everybody laugh.
I don't ever want you to take off your shirt when I'm working.
I'm just saying.
Never take off your shirt on a Tuesday. And I just don't understand.
I'm telling you, it works. I did it in Baltimore. I made everybody laugh.
Baltimore.
Did you make some money though? We like you laughing, but did you make some money, sir?
Later that night, the owner, she called me.
No wonder you were glowing when I walked in earlier. It makes sense. This one, now it makes sense.
I'm like, because I wasn't there. I wasn't invited.
Real quick though, to double back on what it was that you were talking about, like Tika was asking earlier. She said, "Well, whose is your primary clientele?" Family, right? And I said yes, and she was like, really? And I was like, you know what, let me take that back. I said, actually, it's not. I've just became. I said, these people, it's because I was like, a lot of people, I was like, some of my family does support and definitely do call me. Just getting all tongue tied. Help me, Lord, please. It's me, a faithful servant again. But you know, I was like, they do support me, but I was like, I became a part, like you said, of so many of these families. So when she asked, I was like, yeah, it's my family, but it's like you said, you grow and you go through so many of these life phases with them and occasions with them where they invite you to do things, and it's like, this is family to me. Like one of the things I did a TikTok one time, and I was like, this is an unpopular opinion, but the truth of the matter is, I was like, I don't have to be your friend and do business with you. Because what you'll find is sometimes on your personal pages, people are trying to add you as friends. And I'm like, we don't have to be friends to do business. But if we get to that point, I'm here for it. You see what I'm saying? Like, but
most definitely. Yeah, so you want all the smoke then, huh?
It's not even that I want the smoke. The thing is, I don't want the smoke. I just, you know, if we grow into friends and things like that in family, I'm here for that.
It's so hard for people not to friend request me. I'm like, even though I should have more followers, but
she's like, I got 17.
Right. It's because I always leave on a family note. Like, and I be feeling so bad because some people be like, do you have to leave? Like, hey, you only hired me until 9, and if I'm here after 9, I'm kind of cheating myself because it is my business.
Exactly. But and I got to home and cook my husband and that crab legs and stuff. Okay.
I don't have a husband. Let me stop. The way she was wearing the guy. Keep speaking.
Okay. We go. Listen. Maybe we put it into existence.
Right.
You know,
I'm married now.
Listen. Tell that brother he needs to call me, sir. I'm trying to prophesy to you. Okay. What they say. What William Murphy said. You trying to put something in the atmosphere, sir? Listen. I'm trying to help you here on this show. You got to come. Listen. Buy us a coffee from the coffee shop. I'll be single by the time this show is over.
Wow.
That's only because of the cancer comment.
No, that's gonna be like, because it's gonna be like, oh my God, that lady has a powerful tongue. You know, people get scared when you have power.
Yeah.
Especially when you have power in the tongue. Like I have a very amazing power of insight, and people always take it as being pessimistic and things like that. And it's like, you know, I can see visions. I can see, I work out every scenario in my head. It's a blessing and a curse because most people don't think totality. They do not.
I'm like, I don't see the big picture here.
And so when I speak it, they be like, well, why you got to look at it like that? Because I know humans, and we're all human. Yep. You know, so there's avenues for flaw.
Right.
All the time, you know.
Every day.
People on Shani, I think he's trying to get your attention without talking when I'm talking. So what has been your best experience during your photography journey?
It's funny because you really rolled it out. I was like, that's it. You know, just, you know, it really is it's the rolling with the punches things. I was talking to Tika, who was here a little while ago, about that earlier, and I was like, people don't talk about enough how there's bad days sometimes, there's bad weeks, there's bad months, and really there's bad years. And sometimes there's not a consecutive, like, oh, it was bad this year. It's this year. You know, sometimes it's consecutive. It's right behind each other. Sometimes you're going to skip one, like a leap year. You see what I mean? And you might have a bad one. But the biggest thing is making a decision to do it every day. Like I was talking to Tika, and she was like, you know, I quit every day. I said, that's good because that means every day you start again. You see what I'm saying? You start again. And so I was like, doing this business has taught me that it's like being in any relationship or any marriage. You know what I mean? You make a decision to choose this every day. I choose to do this every day. You know what I mean? I choose to keep going even when it gets hard. So that's probably been one of the best things for me. And then, like you said, working with good people, even the bad people, because even not even necessarily bad people, but the more challenging people, they all teach you something in the grand scheme of things. Like you said about, this is what I can be better at. Maybe I could have communicated more effectively this way. Maybe I could have did something different this way. So it's just always a learning process. I always say when you stop learning, you stop living.
And I love that because I was talking to a person this morning. They say I'm a female version of them, but they called me and they were like, what's going on in my voice? And I was like, I'm not a morning person. And this person proceeded to tell me this person proceeded to tell me that he loves the mornings because the morning is his way of starting a new day. My favorite part. What did you say? You don't
sound like this person
him.
real close.
He keep acting like he's not here.
I basically say in the morning is great because that lets me know that I woke up this morning and I can start something. Even if something was messed up, you have another opportunity to make it better. Shout out to you though, Lake. D-Mac said she did great for my event. So shout out to D-Mac.
Shout out to D-Mac. Shout out to everybody on here. You know,
Robert Real said she needs some promo. So I told her I told you I was gonna give. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't get me upset, Rhea. I'm gonna give you Rhea's number. She needs some promo.
Okay.
She had a new member. She had a new founding member yesterday. She found a guy. He made some delicious cheesecakes.
Now this is my friend. Actually, he was just on the thread.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I actually, he did this year. He planned his wife's 40th birthday party.
I love it.
And he called me last year to the date. And oh my God, like now that it's over, that's one thing I hate. When people put down a deposit a year in advance and you gotta stay alive. Like Jesus Christ. I'm telling King, like right now, you know what I'm saying? I got Yogi's money.
It's in the drawer. It's in the drawer.
And I gotta stay a little longer.
You know, I gotta stay a little longer. And he planned this amazing party. Shout out to him because I think the best thing a person can do for another person is go through that stress for them.
Yes.
And then all the guest of honor has to do is worry about being celebrated. I think every single person needs to know what that feels like. And he was able to do it for his wife. And it was just an amazing time.
We love that.
But I'm like, y'all, I'm usually free, 3 months, 2 months, you know what I'm saying? You can call me, you don't have to call me in a year.
Oh no, he said he wanted that.
He wanted,
But you know what, that's a testament to who you are and what you do. He wanted a year in advance. He's like, nobody else can have this date. I got this.
And I'll tell you, people call me spoiled. If my mom's still on here, she'll be the first one, but one of the things that I do get a little spoiled about when you see your friends use somebody else. Like, it was just a birthday party. Like, you didn't even invite me to the party. Like,
maybe I wanted a piece of chicken.
And you gave somebody else my money?
Not my money.
Right. No, that's what it feels like.
Sound like big word real quick. Where's my money, Smokey?
And this is your 50th birthday party or something like that. Like, I don't like most y'all kids. You know what I mean? So I don't have to be a guest at your kid's party.
Yeah.
But if you hire another photographer,
right. Kids, so
why don't you come over here and get on your mom's mic? If we've been waiting on you, come on in.
Yeah.
But I do feel like because him and I was close, it was an honor. And I've done their Christmas photos. They're such a fun couple. So he probably like, man.
He seemed like he was 400-something pounds.
Oh yeah, Yogi was big. I was telling him lemon burn.
Yeah, with a name like Yogi, hey boo boo.
He wasn't boo boo. Now he died. I don't know whether what was the little bear? Was that boo boo?
That sound like wait.
Hey boo boo.
Boo boo. Like, he ain't Yogi no more. He boo boo. Like.
Yes.
So yeah, for real. But and that walk is very inspirational. You know what I mean? The weight loss journey, the way they walked out together. You know what I'm saying? I love.
Both of them had weight loss.
Not as much. Not as much as he did.
Okay.
But the fact that they did the journey together.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? It's nothing like a powerful couple. I love that. You know,
definitely. I totally agree. She said, yes, he speaks very highly of you, Lake. Talking about Darnell Carr. Yeah, I speak highly of Lake too, but there don't be nobody in the room when I be talking sometimes.
That's because you crazy.
Crazy, right?
Cuckoo bird staring at the wall.
Shout out to Lake though. Lake is a very beautiful spirit.
Thank you. We have a new person on. I can't take all that extra stuff. Don't do that.
Okay, don't make
Hey, boo. How are you? Welcome.
How are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tika G's daughter, Chanel. Chanel has her own business as well.
I do.
And what's the name of it?
Rose Cocktails.
Yeah.
I'm a personal bartender available for hire.
Were you at the
Oscar.
I was at the
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Can I get the fucking words out of my mouth? God damn. I quit. Can I quit every day?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
God.
And you start again tomorrow. Yeah. But we got to do with no interrupted pay.
So you were saying about
No interrupted pay, okay? See what I'm trying to see? I'm speaking it out. Water's a light. Water's a light.
So Rose Cocktails.
Yes.
And you were at the Oscars this year. Oh, that's great.
Yes. I had a very great time. I'm new to the whole podcast universe, so it was definitely exciting to see the outreach and just how far it goes, where it's the movies, it's the humanitarianism, all of it. It was very inclusive, and I was definitely appreciative to be a part of it. So I have to give a big shout out to Mr. Milds for that opportunity.
Thank you.
Shut up.
Okay.
So that's as far as that goes. But I've been listening this whole time. I've actually had a question for you two ladies. When you said your clientele is majority family, I recently had a conversation with my brother. He's also a photographer, where it's, do you want to be invited as family or hired? How do you bridge that gap? Because I would want my brother at an event as a guest, not as someone of a hired. But I don't want to feel him like I stepped on his toes and hired someone else.
So first, it was like family.
Yeah.
You know, so not necessarily family, because I do have this issue with family. No, it's because I can't charge my regular prices to my family. Like when my dad had his 70th birthday party, I wanted to be a guest, but I also wanted to take the pictures. So I volunteered to do both. I did everything because I wanted to be able to gift my talents to him because they believe in me so much. But like my god brother and my brother are turning 50 this year, both in November, or the 30th of October and the 20th of November. I don't want to be their photographer.
Right.
You know, and my best friend told her brother that, like, I'm gonna just hire Lake, and I'm like, no. She's like, no. She deserves to be there to celebrate life because we've been friends since I was 12 years old. Beautiful. You know, like some events I want to be there. Period. But like I said, like with some of my friends' kids, don't invite me to that bullshit. I don't need to be at your daughter's sweet 16 and you got another photographer there because it's gonna irritate me.
Okay.
And I probably would have did it like, throw me $25.
Okay.
I mean, which is also a problem because I'll be like, as soon as the price come out my mouth, I'll be like,
fuck. I got you.
They pay the bartender more than that.
That's one of the parts of the Bible that I be listening to God. He be like slow to speak or slow to answer. He be slow to answer, Lord. Hold on. Every now and then you be like, why did I say that, Lord help? But I'm completely with her though. Like I will say for my fathers, I threw with my father a 60th party a couple years ago, and I actually hired my homegirl to do it because I had to be so present. I literally threw the whole party from the ground up. So it's funny that you were talking about that the other day, Lake. I mean, not the other day, but a second ago, Lake, when you were like, you want to be able to give somebody that where they're celebrating, all they got to do is show up. And it's so hard to surprise like my father. He's that father. But yes, it really depends on the event and the person. I feel like, because even when I go shoot family events, you still family, you still have a good time. Now what I don't like, this is what I don't like, when I go places to events and they're like, where your camera at?
Oh, like you're supposed to bring it.
Yes. That's what I mean, don't get me wrong, you eat and breathe. They say you're supposed to do one thing for your business every day, but I went and I checked my Instagram today and I might have put up a post. That's about it. I came here to enjoy my family. So it's, it varies on the event. So I
don't like my camera anywhere where it's not making money. Because if something happened and somebody accidentally bumped into me and I dropped my camera,
and there's that.
I have to invest more money into doing the job that I'm getting paid for, because I get that a lot too.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you bring your camera? Like, so you didn't want me here.
Every function.
Right.
Things like,
Usually I'm the life of the party. Like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like, I've been a bartender for 20 years. So that's also been another thing. Like, I'd have been a photographer, came in as a photographer, and a bartender didn't show up, and I end up mixing drinks. I done did event planning and catering.
Right.
So I done set up buffet tables, coming in, like, doing displays and stuff. Like, I don't know what y'all paid me for. Like, I'm just...
Right.
And I'm the first person people come to, even if I don't have my camera. I'm the very first person, no matter who the family member is. I'm the first person they come to.
And what Calvin said, he said, your family is not your customer, right? But your customer wound up becoming your family. And that's the crazy part. He also said, Lake, stop cheating yourself.
He's absolutely right.
Yeah, so
He heard
cheat.
this $25 comment.
I'm gonna be the brokest
He heard this
photographer.
But you know what though? They say when you love something so much, you can do it for free, and I think that's a case-to-case basis, right? But at the same time, even when I do something for a less amount, I always feel like God will bless. You see what I'm saying? Like, because my heart is where it's supposed to be, and so it's like I can do this for you for the low, and then God might send a job down the road, or even like in the week, and say, here's something for $3,000 that you thought would have been less than that, but we're gonna
Nobody ever paid me $3,000 for anything. Anything.
All the things you've been doing. I'm getting invoices. I touched something. You better ask him. He's gonna get an invoice. Anything past my job description will be paid for.
I hear that.
But I will say
And I love the younger generation when it comes to that too. You know, because I don't know how old you are. And
32.
Okay, so
Shout out
for real, because I think it was something changed. Like, y'all know how to get your money. Like, pay me. People are like, why they talk about pay me my money? Because I'm like, the younger generation don't play them games.
But what's the truth about that is, when you be about so much about money, you wind up losing focus. Because all the time, money is not going to be there, but the opportunity will.
But it's hard to focus without money.
Hold on. Wait. I get that concept, but the truth is, one thing I learned before I play myself, I'd rather pay myself. And what I'm saying that is, before I do something for a lower price, I do it for free. Because you would never tell nobody he did this for me for $40. You know what I mean? It's just like the 40 ball. No, I'd rather do it and just get it done and get it over with. And the next time when you come, you know you don't have to come with something. And then however God work with me is how God gonna work with me.
Yep.
So Rhea has a question I'm going to ask our guest, and I do have an answer as well. But she says, how do you sell a person on investing in photography opposed to just taking cell phone pictures?
Oh shit! I'm gonna tell you now.
Are you a woman in power with a photography business?
I got titties. Listen,
we see.
No. Shannon.
You tell them the benefits, the quality, and things like that. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of these phone pictures are very good, but as far as when it comes to editing, some of them, they may not have the size, quality, and different things like that. You know what I mean? So, and the lighting. Go ahead.
Or you go ahead.
I hope you choke on all
I
three
just feel like I'm
liquids.
bouncing my head back and forth.
I hope you choke on all three liquids.
Right, it's cheese, something that Mama don't need to know about it. What is it?
No, this is wrong.
That's gone. The water's still there.
So one of the things, Rhea, I don't sell people on the type of pictures I do. It's called the Lake B Essence Experience, and that's why I say I'm not going to be the best photographer, but I will be your favorite. When it's almost like a counseling session when you come to, especially if you come to my studio, you know, like you get an individual time with me, and I want to pour into your beauty. I want to make sure you can bring your friends. If you need your rum or your wine or whatever, I have a space and time for you to do so. And I am there with a smile. I'm not there with an attitude. I'm going to make sure that every single picture that you want to see at your 50th birthday party, you see. You see yourself hugging your grandmother. You see your two cousins that haven't talked in a few years, and I may not even know it, but God has put it on my heart to capture those images. And that's what people pay like. And then for me, you can have them all. Like, I'll give you all 500, especially if I'm doing a party. Here's all 500 pictures. You cipher through it. Leave me alone. Don't call me later. And when people using their cell phones, for one, they're too concerned about catching in images of themselves that everybody's doing this, taking selfies, that they're not even concerned about showing you your own happiness. You know, people get married and you can see people in the background. They still taking a like. What?
I love when people do unplugged weddings because that's the other thing.
Like, there will be no phones at my wedding.
I love unplugged wedding. Like
no phones.
And that was one of the things. It's like you're sitting there, you're editing pictures, and I'm like, if you're talking about 500 pictures for a wedding, I'm not editing all these cell phones out every time. Now, blessedly enough, there's stuff like AI now where you can go through it and do it on one picture, and then it'll do it on all pictures. You see what I'm saying? Like, and don't nobody look.
I'm saying, no, I don't see what you said. Teach me.
It's some people out here that like that's like, what? I'll do that, but you can charge more for that if you just wanted to. Like, hey, you see what I'm saying? You didn't unplug it, so here, let me help you. You know, but yeah, you get all these phones and stuff, and it's like back in the day, you're not going to sit there all that time. I think one of the worst things for me is post-op. One of the best things I can tell people about photography, if you want to get into it, is to shoot it right the first time.
Yes,
that's always my thing. When people say, "What's the first thing you can teach me?" Shoot it right the first time. Like sitting in post-op, man. Listen, you lose a whole piece of your life chilling in post-op. Like where I was then and where I am now. I learned to shoot it right the first time.
Yeah, get it right the first time.
Yeah, get it right the first time. Even if that means showing up. Everything that I do and everything that I shoot. Now, obviously, a wedding, I'm going to show up a little bit early, but I don't shoot those anymore. Thank you, Lord. But any event that I shoot, I show up, no extra charge to the customer, at least 15 to 20 minutes earlier. And to them, it seems like a great thing. They're like, oh, my goodness, you're going to show up early. Or it might even be a half an hour. But it's like, it's a gift to them, but it's really a convenience to myself. Yeah. That way, I don't have to go and do all this stuff in post-op. You know what I mean? So I go and get the lighting. I mean, for every single room, every single angle, I'll get to know what it is I need to shoot and where my camera settings need to be. You know?
And I do have a question dealing with your business. Photography can be a very strenuous business, especially people. I'm a graphic designer, so I know like people price hunt.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one thing I've learned was I tell people, don't worry about the price. Call me when you're ready. You know what I mean? And you come in and sit down and let me know what you do. Because once they hear them, they're going to give me a deposit.
Can I ask our new guest something? It's Chanel. I'm so sorry. Y'all don't judge me. Don't jump over here. Y'all know how y'all like to do me. Like the amazing perfume, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when you're dealing with liquor, so that has to be stress in itself, correct? Because I've done that for years. How do you train and prepare yourself for that type of service?
Well, I've been bartending for coming up on 15 years now, so
thank you, Lord.
It's just, I hate to say, you have to judge a book by its cover, and you have to listen to the people around you. Like, oh, Auntie Kiki and them, she get her beer and her beer only. So as Candace was saying, you kind of have to show up earlier, scope your audience, scope everything around. I am tip certified, so I techniques in prevention services. So I do know how to gauge a person when they've been drunk and overserved. If I see you have your personal, I'm not going to serve you because I would lose my license if my drink was the one to push you over. So I'm very cautious and conscious that I am a human and that my customers are human.
And I'm happy you mentioned you was tip certified. I am the rental facility manager for Detroit Historical Museum. If anybody wants to rent out the Dawson Great Lake Museum or the Detroit Historical Museum, go to L. Butler at DetroitHistorical.org. But what I do need are tip certified bartenders, so I will be putting you on my list.
See?
The
connection.
Because the one thing that I was given, we complain so much about different venues, places that we work for, and with the Detroit Historical Museum, growing up in that place, not only that the museum, but also the city of Detroit is trying to deal with their gentrification. So I feel like God has given me this opportunity to keep it black. And they know that. This if they run up on the show, this is not going to be you can't fire me for that. That's an HR violation. But I want to be able to give opportunities to different businesses to come to that Indian wedding and serve responsibly as an African American business, because it doesn't have we need to venture more off so you can have that extra clientele and that extra look of people, and they were like, oh, she did. I know you do a great job, because I don't say this to people that I don't work with. I seen you work. I was at the Oscars. I looked way better.
Me too.
I didn't know who I was. I mean, like I looked fabulous that night. I didn't leave with a Oscar, but
That's okay.
I was nominated.
And that's all that matters. That's a start.
People was talking when they said my name. I swear to God. Like why everybody talk like nobody knew and nobody really clapped for me. It was like at Lake Butler. I'm like, Miles must have nominated me because nobody in this room know who the fuck I am.
I'm trying to talk over you like they were doing at the Podcastic. Listen,
maybe next year I could be a presenter.
Most definitely.
They gonna know my name.
The Podcastic is gonna be totally. A tear almost came to my eye thinking about the Podcastic for 25. It's gonna be ridiculous. Shout out to everybody who supported the Podcastic and support podcast. We're about to go to another video. Y'all watching the Rise the Ground Morning Show right here on Podcastic. We got Chanel, Lake, Candace, Chantel, and me.
Chantel don't even have a mic, like
she don't even need one right now.
She's so powerful.
She talks so much this weekend, it's ridiculous. Chantel got a birthday coming up, y'all.
Okay, happy birthday.
Am I going to be invited to the birthday? Because I know y'all do things.
As a photographer, as a guest. We trying
no
to
shit. As a guest.
If I was to do something, yeah, I'll let y'all know if I do something.
She might be going to see Rod Wave.
Oh, nice. Good choice. Good choice.
Who?
Good choice.
Thank you. That's the same thing I said.
He's great.
He commits suicide on stage every time he performs.
He is a very sad
individual.
Rap R&B fusion would be the best way I could.
That is a good description.
Describe it.
You know who he is?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Praise the Lord.
Suicide.
He highlights the sadness in being black, and I appreciate that because we haven't had a highlight on that in a while. So I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
But okay now. Yeah. It's enough sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes.
Rhea said this about you, Chanel. She said, I was at the Oscars too. Great job.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
A lot of people had great things to talk about, the drinks and the food. They were like, that food?
We love.
Food.
The food was very good.
Shout out to Motor City Smokehouse, my man Will Worthy. He did the damn thing.
Is he a woman in power? I'm just asking because that's what this show is about.
No, but
I did see some powerful women setting up the food, so he definitely has powerful women employees. So we'll give him a half a point. Half a point.
Shout out to him.
Oh my God! Like I'm like, he got some women on his team, and I ain't one of them.
You are one of them. Shut up.
I mean, not the way they had your back.
Oh, hey, look, we was down in Baltimore. Oh, we showed our ass.
What is up? Why you keep bringing that shit up?
Because you wasn't there. Listen,
that's not
everybody go to
That's
the last drop. She going to get a refill. Hey, y'all watching the Rise the Ground Morning Show right here on Podcastic. We'll be right back. All right? Yes, we do. Scorpio, sis. B-Day twin. Oh, that's right. Y'all birthday the same day? Yes. Oh, y'all messed up individuals.
Oh, let's get it. That
was the wrong number. We don't have to erase that one. So listen, we'll be right back.
So what do you do if you're a woman in leadership and you don't get along with everybody? That can be a difficult situation, but again, what I would say, the focus of leadership is to be a developer of people. Don't put the extra pressure on yourself that in order to be an effective or really great leader, you have to love everybody and want to hang out with everybody. That's actually a myth. There are family members you don't want to hang out with, right? Let's keep it real. So leadership is about how do I develop people, because that is job number one.
What's up, this is Morris Chestnut. I want to say just hello to all the women on Podcastic.
That's who?
He said hi to all the women in Podcast. Why she turn it off?
You know Morris Chestnut?
I can't see who it was.
Morris Chestnut.
I said who.
If my mic was working, it helped me out a whole lot. Morris Chestnut. It's Morris.
More chestnuts.
More chestnuts.
Morris?
More chestnuts.
Does that know what the cancer can be? No, I'm just.
Anyway, what the lady said was dope.
What did she say? Because I missed that part. I had quit at the time.
You want to go re-up on rum. She did.
Would you tell us what she said?
She said Lake is a beautiful woman.
I'm sure. Thank you, lady. I'm sure.
She said, well, That was crazy. So, as women, I'm gonna ask you. Let's talk with you, Chanel. As women in business, do you see your counterparts, meaning men, having some type of, I don't want to say attitude because that sounds saucy, some type of jealousy or envy with you in your business?
Not necessarily in my bartending business, but a couple other places that I've been employed. I really just be doing stuff, guys. I can't cuss. My mom is still here. So I just be doing stuff.
Shit.
When I kind of entered bartending, it was an accident. I worked for Detroit Seafood Market. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Yeah.
PV Lounge. That's my bartending home. I'm so sad that it's gone. But I was a hostess, and I got really upset with a customer one day to the point where I called my dad and my uncles, and I was like, I'm a da-da-da-da-da, all that stuff. So the owner, Kenny Akinwale, he's great. He was like, you know what? You have the energy that I would like behind my bar. You have a command presence when it comes to customers, you know, when they're doing this, when doing that. So he gave me a shot bartending. So I don't know if it was sexist at the time, but men have helped me with my bartending. When I worked at Home Depot, men hated me. So I've not had an issue with men in my particular field. I think they prefer a female bartender, so they're actually more welcoming, in my personal opinion.
Okay. I totally agree with what she's saying. Like I said, 20 years in bartending. I ran the bars at Ford Field for 7 years. And what I found is men are going to be the most consumers and purchasers of liquor. So any business with the woman behind the bar is going to be successful.
I can agree with that.
Most of my certified bartending companies are women-ran bartending companies. And you know, we do need men. We need men to carry our stuff in, to bar back, to get rid of the bottles and stuff. But as far as the person you want to see serving, even like waitresses and things like that, you prefer to see a woman because they look better. They're kinder. They can be aggressive, but it's sassy. You know what I mean? And it's cute. You know, so I definitely agree with that. Now, for me as a photographer, I remember when I started working, I was in high school, I worked for A&M Photography. And at the time, they didn't, not really, because at the time, MacArthur wouldn't let women be a photographer. And I was 17 years old, and it was a dream of mine. Like I said, I've always had a camera, so it was kind of like Bucharest. Like, you can only have the young females up front.
Or wear a certain thing, because we know that was a thing for a certain point.
Right, but we can only work up front and take the orders, and all the guys in the back were photographers. And shout out to Wendy, who is a photographer now, but she was the first woman to cut into that industry when I was 17 years old. Beautiful. And they literally gave her a hard time as if it was like 1950 Jim Crow type of time. Like, they would tell people, your pictures are going to be bad. She's not as good as the rest of us. And it was literally an industry that women were breaking into. And this was 96. Yeah. You know, so even though, damn, that's 30 years ago, but it's not like, sheesh, like, she ain't like 96. Goddamn, women shouldn't have been taking pictures.
Women should always be taking pictures. That's the thing, and that's what we found out. Like, and even with, like you said, it's not to cut you off. I'm sorry, but photography, cut it.
It's only when he does it. You're fine.
But for photographers as a woman, it's very interesting. I've walked into a couple of places with men, and they just get very like territorial. You know what I mean? And I'm like, hey, bro, you know, it ain't like that. So I'll go over and introduce myself. Hey, man, what's your name? What you shooting with? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm second.
So you know your camera talk will break a guy down.
I mean, not even just the camera talk, though. You know what I mean? Just a smile. Like, I'm a smile and just being kind. Because people automatically, even other women sometimes, they automatically assume sometimes that there's competition in the room. No, we're allies here. You see what I'm saying? We're here to do the same thing that we love. You see what I'm saying? There's no competition here. You take pictures the way you take them. I take pictures the way that I take them. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why, like, when I think you were talking about it earlier, when it's like, people choose me, like, you're going to get that experience. I always tell people, you don't stop doing what you're doing just because somebody else is doing it. If God told you to do it, you do it. Because somebody, you know, they might like the way you take pictures of lips. They might like the way I take pictures of ears. You know, like, if that's what he told you to do, just do it.
I'm not going to lie. I was never interested in the photographer until I met Monica Morgan, right? When I met Monica Morgan and she started running it down, like, what a photographer really go through and how y'all get paid, I was like...
But I'll tell you one thing that I am happy to provide the service of being a woman photographer is the comfortability of shooting other women.
Yes.
Like,
yes,
the one thing
so
about
huge.
being a photographer, and men probably can speak to this, is the bad rap. Because you have so many men photographers that think you're beautiful, and they would use that to prey on women. And before you know it, there has been a lot of girls who found themselves in compromising positions. True. On the other side of the lens, and I'm one of them. You know, not to the point where they thought they was gonna get me. They thought I was gonna take off my clothes and wanted those pictures naked, and that didn't mean that you was gonna bend me over. But when I walked out of there, you owed me everything, because you thought you was making a move, and I was super smart. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't spread eagle. I was like I've been dying to take some beautiful silhouette pictures, but I see where you're going, you devil, and then I'm going to tell everybody. Yeah. Is this really what you're doing to young girls? You're talking them into taking their clothes off, and then you're talking into... Yes. But so one of the things that I offer, like I said, with the Lake B Essence experience, is that comfortability that you can come to my studio and do a boudoir shoot, and you would never see me post your pictures. I barely want to look at them, but you can come here and be as naked as you want to be, and I will be on the other side of that camera praying for this to end. But I would tell you that you're the most beautiful thing on this earth without even touching you, because everybody deserves to feel that beauty without being exploited.
And that's the part about the experience, like you said, when you pay, and I love that you pointed that out, when you do, well, with some people, they just take pictures, like you said, and like I do what you do. You sit down, you do the consultation, you provide that empowerment, because some people are just like, you know, especially as women, we're very hard on ourselves all the time. Like somebody give us a compliment and we automatically picking ourselves apart. My hair messed up. Oh, I don't look like this. Oh, I don't look, you know, and we're taking everything apart. And to be able to not only do photography, but to empower other women, like, that's huge. You know what I'm saying? That feels good. You know, like, and like you said, taking those pictures too. Like, I've taken pictures of strippers, and I'm just like you said. Now those, I'm like, let's hurry it up. Like, no, I think this one girl was trying to get me one time. She's like, you know, so what about this? How do you like this? I'm like, I don't like it's. Hey, it's whatever you like. Let's just
smell like Cumbermelon.
Yeah. And see, that's so effed up, because there was a time in my life that you could have got me, and didn't nobody want me.
Like, stop it.
Okay. It's just a fantasy.
Okay, let's get it. So
where we going?
We have to go to the next video, and I want everybody to pay attention to the video. Where's the studio? Like,
I work out of a shared space in Greenfield Plaza, just around the corner from here. And I absolutely love it. Suite LL10.
Okay. Where's your studio?
Interestingly enough, I actually work downstairs in this building, which is a Crossroads building, in Suite LL20, 120 actually.
Really? Okay, let's put that. You don't look like you play the lottery, but I do.
You know what? It's not my thing. I can't never seem to get the money.
Well, that's what Rhea said. Collaboration over competition.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So I'll be over there to visit. And don't
sure. I'm like, let's go downstairs.
You gotta let me in with that cup of rum too.
Yeah.
Even though I don't drink no more.
Oh, you don't drink no more?
I don't drink or smoke. I used to drink like a fish.
I love her spirit.
I like a drunken spirit too.
It's a whole bunch of whatever you want is downstairs or in my studio, like you said, providing that full experience. However you need to come here to get comfortable. Just we don't do too much, because I don't want you like this on your pictures, you know. But yeah, whatever you need to come and select those pictures.
Shout out to people who ain't afraid to take drunken pictures.
You know what though? I do have the part of the Lake B Essence experience, and I do advertise people coming in and doing that with a friend group. Like last year, I guess they're like my friends. They're not really my friends, but we're like in a Facebook chat group together now, and it's called the Friendship Circle. Okay. But last year we all got together and we did those wonky Christmas pictures, and that was fun for me because I was able to.
The ones in the box, or just
no? We just did weird poses with picking up each other's legs, sitting on each other's laps and stuff, and we was on that Taylor port wine.
Oh my gosh!
So the pictures got even more dumber. It got and so that's what I tell people. That's also part of the experience, because it really wasn't about the pictures. It was about a group of females getting together. We laughed so hard.
What's the wait to exhale pictures?
No,
Wowzers.
I don't wait to exhale.
Not holding the legs. Oh.
No, like the women, you know, like the.
She know what you're talking about.
Like, were you doing like the crawl? And, yeah. I seen people doing the ones with like the little kids, like the high school ones, the middle school ones. I even seen the prison ones. I was like, nah,
my church has an office space at Crossroads.
This must be that spot.
Shout out to Chuck Leshner, man. He is one of the best owners in the world. Shout out to Chuck, man. He's so amazing.
Dope. He know everybody by their voice.
He does. That's why I went ahead and came here. I mean, literally, I was talking to him not to cut you off. I just know that's a guy thing.
Don't worry about the not to cut you. It's just him. It's not you, okay, baby?
One of the first things that it really made me love you here was I was talking to him one day and somebody came in, I guess, to pay their rent or something like that. And he was just like, he was like, I'll just come, the person, I'll just come back. And he was like, oh, no, come on in, Kim, or whatever the woman's name was at the time. And she was like, how you know my name? And she's like, how you know it was music? Because of your voice. I said, oh, that's the guy to be a great guy. You know your people by voice. I was like, where do I sign my leasing contract at, sir?
I love that.
Chuck is
amazing.
Chuck is amazing. But so is this next video. We better go to the next video, and we are going to listen to this video so we can comment on the video. Lake, and you're going to listen.
Lake, and I'm going to pee.
I came to Jesus at a church that my mom was the lead pastor of. If this was not God's will,
right?
How did that happen? Right? So I just feel like where there is, some people read a lot of the New Testament and they think they're very, very clear. Like, nope, I'm too clear on it.
Yeah.
God said no, it means no. And no women should preach. Right? I'm not that clear. And so since I'm not that clear, I don't try to talk about it with like as much conviction as they do.
Yeah.
I just honestly say, you know what? I'm not really clear on it, but I can't deny when I see God's grace on a woman's life that he's using powerfully. And maybe I don't know these scriptures as well as you do, but I can tell when God's anointing is on somebody.
Right.
I can tell when God's using somebody for his glory and people's lives are being changed. And so we might not agree on this verse, but can we agree that this person is actually being used by God? And you're trying to tell me God partnering with this woman and it being impactful, you would rather see her go home and talk to some kids so that a dude could step in there?
Right.
Kick rocks is
love
mine.
That. And
so, I don't even know if I answered your question, but that's where I am right now.
Some really nice glasses on, like all the time. Like
women just instantly went to the guys.
What do you think about that, Chanel?
What do I think about that? Well, I'm not very religious. I did grow up in the church. And from what I can recall from my childhood, a lot of the women were left as deaconess, a lot of the women were left at, should I start over?
No, you're good.
Okay, so a lot of the women were left in the position of deaconess, which was almost a glorified secretary. They prepared sermons. They made sure, they put on the Easter brunches. They put on the Sunday service fashion shows. A lot of what I saw as a child in the church has significantly turned me off of organized religion. I am very spiritual. I do feel like that as a human, as we're constantly evolving, so we have to evolve the word of God as well, because what was said of women 10 years ago, 20 years ago, hundreds of years ago is not the truth anymore. It's not the constant anymore. So as the gentleman said, I do believe that you should focus on when God is leading someone, whether it's a male or a female. God has put this person in a perspective to speak truth. Mm-hmm. And I don't think the gender of that person should matter. Wow. If they are speaking the Lord's word, then we should listen.
What about you, Miss Lady?
Same, quite honestly. Like, you know how they always say, don't focus on the messenger, focus on the message. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's, we have to be conscious. I mean, that's with anything that you do, though. Like, I've always been, I was taught one time, and that's kind of something I live by, though. One of my mentors told me, he's like, you can hear everything, but you decide what you want to keep. You see what I'm saying? And that's, I tell my daughter that, I tell my niece and nephew that, like, you decide what you want to keep, you know what I mean? Like, but I feel like everybody has a message, and when God is looking to give you a message, we can't focus on the messenger. We have to focus on the message that we're receiving. You see what I'm saying?
Definitely.
No, I wasn't asking you because you were asleep.
No, I wasn't.
You were literally asleep.
No, I ain't snoring.
No, but he's seen you.
I snore.
That was a qualification.
What do you think?
No, I was going to say, when my father passed away, I didn't ever believe in women pastors neither, because I was told that women don't preach. I walked into this big ass church.
It was a big ass church.
I walked into this big ass church, right? And as I was walking, I ain't pay attention of the head pastor or minister or how it was. It was my cousin Carolyn Dixon. And then when I said she stood up, I was like, "That's a woman. What's she about?" You know what I mean? I'm thinking she's about to introduce the pastor. And I'm like, wow, it changed my mind. Once I really understood that women do know the word and know how to get the message across better. You know what I mean? It gained my interest in Christianity, because I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't part of thinking about Muslims or Christians. You know what I mean? But as I got older, Islam became my way of thinking in life, because I started to understand, like, it's only 4 divisions of them.
Right.
It's 1,350 different divisions of Christianity. I think I'd rather go with the people that divided 4 times. You know what I mean? So, but the truth of the matter, women in their culture they don't have no messiahs, or, you know what I mean? Women don't speak like that. However, I think women who is called upon God to speak the word, you can tell the difference. You really can tell the difference.
You know what's crazy?
They don't all look like Ellen.
No, they don't, and hardly any of them.
I'm gonna keep my comments about yelling preaching to myself.
This is the crazy part about it. Until you guys spoke your truth and spoke first, I was thinking, like, I believe a woman can rule the country, but I don't believe in a woman ruling the church. You know, and the reason why is because I really believe in male leadership. And in any relationship, for a man to be the head of the household or to be the leader of his family or anything else, he's supposed to also be the firm believer in God.
Most definitely.
And that is the same way I feel about the house of the Lord. If you experience that, when you have a masculine energy leading the church, it seems to be more stern in a way that people want to follow. There's not a lot of argument about a woman doing it. They're actually focused on the word of God. He's also a little more conforming to the changes of the world. Where I feel like when women become in leadership, even though it may be more Bible-like, we are more stern in the word of God. So when you see a woman-led church, you probably won't see a lot of acceptance for homosexuality and things like that, because women believe in the word that they have, and they will push the agenda. Like, whereas men tend to be more logical in understanding how the world changes, and they open those doors up way more than I feel like a woman leader. That's me personally, which that's why I say it's good for our country. Not to segue to that, because we as America should have very stern ways of how we live as Americans. And I feel like a woman would do that and keep those things in place, opposed to bringing in all the other issues that has nothing to do with running the country. But when I listen to you guys talk, and even Rhea just said, the word of God doesn't change. And it doesn't. And it shouldn't matter who's giving the word. But I kind of believe in tradition. And when we start making acceptance for other things, we also start making changes for how that church is led. Now, I was a big fan of Greenleaf.
Greenleaf was good.
Right. So when when that daughter took over the church, she ran that business. She ran that everything, and it was an amazing thing to see. But I still feel like her mother's character is an example of how the cattiness come in that a lot of men do not allow in their church.
But I'm glad you said masculine energy, because it's a thing in the Dixon family. Like any girl that was born for the father of a Dixon, they drill in their head. Don't you never let no man change your name. This is our family. You know what I mean? Oh my God! Let me tell you something.
Is that acceptable?
Well, I tell you what, my sister was married 5 times, and she ain't changed her name not one time.
Maybe because, and that's why she was married 5 times.
No hyphen, no nothing.
Right, like, I joked about it when I was younger. I'm like, you gonna take my last name? Like, you know,
but I'm dead serious. Like, so when you say masculine energy, I don't know about my cousin Carolyn, but I can see how that can happen. Like, masculine energy, because she ain't no stud or no shit like that, but I'm just saying do you
believe in that though? I mean, like that's a touchy.
It's not what I believe. It's how they gonna live their life.
I'm saying, like, as a man though, I'm asking you.
Oh no!
If you're marrying a woman,
yeah, she gonna take my last name
because that's a huge change in the world. Like,
but I'm not gonna lie. My sister was one of those women. Like, this is how it's gonna go.
I mean, she Thanos. Like, she got 5 rings. I'm gonna snap you gone, and I'll still be addiction.
And you know something though, right? Because how you get 5 and some people ain't got 1 yet. Honey, what's going on?
What's going on? You keep preaching to my boyfriend, like, because I'm like, I'm gonna be a butler.
We just need to know.
Answers. I remember my daddy said, as long as you're alive, don't never let no man get rid of the name Dixon.
That's crazy.
So they're hyping it out.
No, I mean, the last man she hyped her name, but her Dixon was on the end. She did not play.
Baby, she a thug. What's up? Where you grew up at?
My sister was a thug. She must have some great conversation. So what I'm saying is, what I'm about to say is, the truth of the matter is, we're about to wrap it up because Shannon just gave us the finger.
That wasn't the finger. She was pointing at her. You said we can stay here as long as we want to. Last time I watched the show, y'all stayed until 1 o'clock. Like, I come on and it's like, we're gonna cut this at an hour. I told y'all, like, I ain't know about that life.
Shout out to everybody for checking us out. Sean P, thank you for checking us out. Greg, thank you for checking us out. P. Dot, when you gonna come aboard? Really give me a call. You got the number. Tam Monique, she checking us out. Richard Leonard, Dre Woods. That sounds like somebody you might know, like.
Dre Woods. But one that's not on my feed. I keep telling you, I don't see your people.
Okay.
That's the thing. I mean, I don't know if you guys
Kiva,
don't watch
Michael,
it. Nobody know.
How do we do it? But it's okay.
Beth,
but it's okay.
Latoya. Rhea said, wow, yeah, I'm old school. I definitely am changing my last name when it's time, even though my dad had no boys, so his last name doesn't carry on with the so his last name won't even carry on. Okay.
I mean, and
my daddy wasn't playing that shit. He told my son,
it's not supposed to.
What's wrong with you?
You saying what's wrong with me?
I mean, you fix it. How to see the video.
Who are you talking to? Would you finish your sentence?
I'm sorry.
What did your daddy say?
My daddy said you are a Dixon. Bottom line, and you don't let nobody change nothing.
And there's that.
And I'm not gonna lie, and I used to think it was arrogant, right? But the truth of the matter is, until you start finding out who your family really are, you be like, I got it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And where he from, the name Dixon carry a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm. It's important.
Like if you walk through the city and you say you're a Dixon, you be sitting up here like, Hakeem, my son.
But I get that. I get that, and I will say to anybody
you ain't know no man that took his wife's last name, and I did cut Lake off. Go ahead, Lake.
No, and I don't know about that, but some people come from real damaging backgrounds.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. The worst thing for me by being a butler is that I'm really the only butler in my family. Mm-hmm. You know, and my cousins, they all have their dad last name, but it's 4 of them. I'm only child. So the butlers didn't really mess with me. I have relationships with them now, but that was something I had to seek out once I became an adult. But I didn't go to a butler's Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving or anything. I was just with my Mitchell family and / Bradley family because those cousins were the biggest. And I was just the butler. And as a kid, one of my dreams were to find a husband, maybe to become a Dixon, where all the women got the same last name. But I really wanted to be in a family where everybody shared the last name, and when we are at our family gatherings, we are just the Johnsons. Yeah. But I did not want to be isolated. I hate being isolated. And it's also bothersome that I'm 45 and I never experienced that. Because I really used to think that as a child, don't the family all supposed to have the same last name? Right. But I also believe that men should strive for boys. Yeah. And keep their last name going. I don't. That's weird to me. And no knock to your sister Thanos.
I think that was good though that you know where you come from. Like my daughter, she has her father has a unique name. And now, whereas I could have been like, I'm gonna give you my last name. The truth of the matter is, it's gonna marry out either way once you get married, right? But I wanted her to know who she was, and I wanted her to know who her people was. Because just imagine me like, oh, this is about to be my husband. Like, that's your cousin. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
That's the real thing.
No matter how much I like Buddy, you see what I'm saying? You're going to have your dad's last name because you need to know who your people is. You know who your people is through me, but you need to know who your people are. Like, oh man, we about to get married. My mom used to always like, check that bloodline. That's every time because my mom is a Harris.
Check the bloodline.
Yeah, my mom is a Harris. She check that bloodline, baby.
See, back in the day,
heavy on that.
Back in the day, they used to check the bloodline because sickle cell was bad. Sickle cell was almost worse than HIV. Then they're like, y'all can't have no babies together. You got the trait and you got sickle cell. Nah, that baby gonna be fucked up all his life. So
one of the things that I used to think about my son, I gave my son his father's last name, who has 4 other daughters, but he's not there to raise him, and my stepdad is. And I was thinking about in terms of legacy. Like my son is also have the same experience as I am, as all his cousins, his uncle, my dad, my mom, they all are Solomons. And I was like, damn, I should have, part of me really wish I would have gave him that name, because now legacy doesn't always have to be blood. Right. It's the person who puts that life insurance as a bit, or that IUL in your name to make sure that they're going to leave you something so you can carry on their legacy. And my papa has done that for my son. That's something that his dad hasn't done. Yeah. Or anybody who shares his dad's last name.
Gotcha.
In
other words, your in-laws.
It's not my in-laws, it's my stepdad.
Oh, I'm talking about the other people didn't do nothing.
They're not my in-laws. They ain't related to me. Don't speak that word of God. Don't speak that.
I had a similar situation when I had my son. My son's name is hyphenated. He has my last name and his father's last name. But my mother wanted him to have our family last name, which I thought was weird. Our family last name is Williams. My great-grandmother had mostly daughters, and she was like, it would be so cool if he just had the family last name. And I'm like, but that's not even my name. But she was like, he would be able to carry on our bloodline and this and that. And I can kind of see now where she was hinting to, but it just didn't make sense. But
was it the paternal or the maternal side? It was your grandmother's last
maternal.
name.
My grandmother's maternal. Right. So my mom's name was Williams. But like I said, she had all daughters. So her one son has had all daughters. So Williams is going to die.
Right, eventually.
Eventually, when his daughters, if they decide not to hyphenate or pass their name on to their children, Williams will most likely die with this generation. Wow. And now that my great-grandmother has passed away, I do wish that I would have incorporated it as a middle name or something to tie him to it. Yep. I have no more kids, so it is too late.
That change, what you know, real quick, not to cut you off. Sometimes old schoolers, they do not want to just come out and say it. Just say what you're trying to say to me. It's all this hinting. No, say what you need to say.
Well, sometimes
make it make sense. Then I'll understand.
See, I'm a straight shooter, so that's why I might spit it out.
Yeah, but one thing about adults too, you don't never. A lot of times people don't want to be wrong, and so you say one thing and then it come back and kick you in your fucking face, and then you sit there like, well, I tried. And
it's all we can ask for, though. You see what I'm saying? It's just if somebody wants to.
But when you're dealing with other people in their life, you can't tell somebody, be independent, stand up for yourself, and then you taking all this conversation directly from me. Like I give people, even when I teach you A, C, E. I mean, I'm not going to teach you everything step by step because a lot of you still has to be in there, even when I'm gone.
Well, I think I was not listening, but reading Gigi Marie's comment, and she said she's hyphenating her name because the memory of her father. And I think when women have good dads, that makes a difference.
Yeah.
Like
I'm saying daughter.
but that makes a really good difference. I mean, because like I don't want no parts of my dad's last name. Like he ain't leave me. Y'all know he ain't leave me no money when he died. Like he didn't care about my life.
But
I don't need to be a Butler. Like Lake Butler is a place in Florida. Let's keep it there. Like let's find another lake. That's bigger and better.
But I'm just saying, but though he may not have left you no money, did he give you any insight in your life that helped you along the way?
Are you my daddy? No. The one thing that he did for me was he was able to accept me for who I am as a friend, not as a parent.
Okay.
And so I don't really have that much animosity toward it. It's a joke, but I will always want to be married and carry somebody else's last name.
How long was he always in your life?
I mean, I know the nigga. Like, I knew him. I was at his funeral. I spoke. Was he always? He's my dad. Like he was there.
But listen, okay, so he was there. The reason I ask that because when I hear females say that, I get kind of mushy inside. Because my daughter, she's 24. She just turned 24 this year, and we have not seen each other. You feel me?
Is she a Dixon?
No.
Okay.
So and this is the part. Me and her mother was never. It's a fucked up situation, but she knows.
Something beautiful still came out of it, though. Shout out to that.
No, most definitely. But what I'm saying is, in life, if a person is not present, it brings a lot of hardship on that child. Because they think the child grows up thinking they was part of the problem. Mm-hmm. And the truth of the matter is, they really had nothing to do with it because of relation. I'm not saying your situation.
No, but it's not that I'm part of the problem. It's about she is probably grateful that she's not a Dixon. Because you wasn't there, y'all don't have a relationship. Like, why would I carry somebody's legacy and name of somebody who's not in my life?
But that was my problem. It was.
That was your problem. With dealing with her?
No, the problem was her mother moved to California. One, I tried numerous times to go there. When I got there, me and my daughter reunited. Okay, my daughter's been missing out of my life from age 3 to 8. Okay, when we reunited here, my daughter act like we ain't skip a beat.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Then when her mother, I told her mother I had maybe $14,000 left in my whole life, right? I said I will buy you a house. This one house was costing $2,000 to get, and it cost about five to fix up.
Please, because I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I found a house.
I'm sorry.
And I called her and said, "Listen, I found a house. I'll move y'all back. I'll pay all your bills for a year. Just bring my baby back. And the house is yours. There's no strings attached. Just come back." She said, "Well, you can send me that money because I want to get a motorcycle." So that's what I'm saying. The psyche that goes along with creating a child with people you don't know is a real messed up situation, and it go both ways. And so that's what I say. I get kind of mushy inside because my baby is probably looking at me like I didn't want to be there.
No, I don't. She could.
Oh no! I'm telling you,
as a child who didn't have their father there, I know how you can Jedi mind trick yourself because you don't know the full story, right? But as a mother who takes care of everything, that wants a motorcycle, don't move me out of my environment. Just buy my bike. I've been taking care of this child financially all my life. I don't need you to buy me a house. I already have one. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Like selfishly, you needed them to uproot their life to come to where you are.
They was living in a car.
Then that's fucked up. What you need a motorcycle for? You can't live in a motorcycle.
This one
y'all need to know the problem is where you stick your penis.
Then
That's what
that part.
Don't stick your penis in strangers.
That's why.
I'm a son,
But
mom.
I can say though, it's probably a lot of women that if they were in the exact same situation will go ahead and take that. I mean, but why wouldn't you? Because if the thought process is a kid, which I think a lot of people lose sight of, why not?
And her support system was here. Her mom was here. Her sister was here. You know what I
But
mean?
it was something that wasn't here.
Her brain.
That's just what
I mean, whatever it is.
Her brain. I'm being honest.
Detroit ain't the easiest place in the world to
It's
live.
not. My boy says that all the time.
LA is definitely not the easiest place to live.
But you don't know that because people look. No, I'm saying that
she lived in a fucking car with 3 kids.
people look at Detroit as Gotham City. People don't know the riches of living here until you're actually living here. But the outside world look at this place as garbage, as trash. We know it's a beautiful
Didn't
place.
Donald Trump just say that?
He did, didn't he say
The whole country gonna turn into Detroit.
And he told the world that.
Baby, it's gonna be beautiful then.
It's gonna be beautiful, full of love.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Detroit is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. I'm not going.
When I go other places,
I'd be quick to leave.
I'm a Catholic school girl, and people have been afraid of me because I said that I lived in Detroit. I live in Detroit, and they be like, "Where about?" Like in the city. They're like, "How?"
Right.
My thing is,
Waking
as
up
if
every
you
day.
would know, asking about where I live out in the city, unless you've been here a couple times.
The whole truth, I'll be honest with you, Detroit is the safest place for black men and black women. That's the honest to God truth.
I believe that.
It's the only place listen, we were just in Baltimore. People don't go in the city.
Really?
No, you don't.
Wait a minute.
You don't. So my cousin, she actually went to Howard, and she gave us a whole little tutorial on the do's and don'ts. Shout out to Maya. She's a marine biologist. She's awesome.
Hey.
So she went to Howard. She like, when y'all come down, we're gonna stay in the DC area. And I don't know the name of the street, but it was like, you can walk on this side of the street safely.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what do you mean just this side of the street? She's like, you cross the street, you won't come back.
Wow.
You won't come back. You might come back, but you ain't gonna have your shoes, your purse, your watch, and maybe a year.
I forgot
they
what
took
street
the whole
that was,
year.
but I
just stay ready the whole
I asked
year.
about Milds. Like, yeah, it's
I'm being very honest with you. Detroit is a beautiful place. Detroit is the only place and the only city in America, especially Black America, where you have 4 to 6 gated communities in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else got 1, 2. You know what I mean? But Detroit is a beautiful place.
I have a date in Detroit, though. I must say, though, like. I tell people all the time, like when I talk about Detroit, like it's not too many times I feel like I'm cocky or like, you know, out there with it. But like when I talk about Detroit, I'm like, listen, Detroit was the mecca for everything. We started everything.
Tam Monique said, I love Detroit.
I do too.
Yeah, it's the mecca for everything, and people don't give it enough credit sometimes because so many people came and borrowed and stole.
Stole.
And, let's just be honest, stole in a lot of things. You know what I mean? But like we started a lot of stuff.
We had the first freeway, the first highway, the first economic system made and
Big
based.
Three. Let's talk about it.
What's that?
Saved a couple of your grandparents. Let's talk about the big three.
The big three, Motown.
You know,
you name it.
I had to learn
Black
Detroit
Bottom.
later in
Black
life.
Bottom. People forgot about Black Bottom.
That is true.
Black
I had to
Bottom,
learn
baby.
Detroit later in life. My parents moved me out to the suburbs, and I didn't know anything about the city of Detroit. Like, I had no history, no recollection, no directional sense of it all. And I've come across a lot of interesting people in my life with bartending, artists, rap artists, just... It's really dope. It's really dope. And I'm ashamed that it took me so long to be like, I'm from Detroit proudly. Right. It took me a long time to say that proudly.
One of the things that I pride myself on is telling people how I live Detroit. Mm-hmm. Because I am a Catholic or a private school girl who grew up off of Dexter and Davison. You know, so people are like, you know, I wore uniforms every day. Up until, pretty much up until high school, because they ended up putting us in uniforms once I got to high school. And it's like, but my neighborhood that was attacked in so many different ways was where I grew up. Mm. And I also had people that loved me so much because of my personal goals that they poured into me almost to a threatening nature. Mm-hmm. Like if you don't graduate from high school, we'll kill you. Like, wow,
but that's how it should be, though.
Right, it should be. If you have no hope,
that's why we
have hope for me. Is that 10 minutes? You about to say 10?
Are we wrapping it up?
She said wrap it up.
Okay. She about to start dancing.
Just
put up what Rhea just said on the board for me.
Let it come up.
Put up what Rhea just said, please. Rhea got a good point. She says everyone doesn't grow up hard, but now people like to act like they grew up in the hood. I don't get it.
Can I say something to what Rhea has said? I tell people all the time, like, and I was just having this conversation with a gentleman yesterday, and there's two type of people because, I'm not even going to say that because that's not... There's two type of people. There's people that grew up in the hood, and then there's people that were of the streets as well. Yeah. And so people confuse the two. Like, I grew up in the hood. You just grew up in the hood. You were the person that watched the fights happen. You were the person that sees it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you might have, when somebody got jumped, you might have threw it a little hand or whatever. You know what I mean? But you wasn't the person out there throwing hands first. Right. You see what I'm saying? And you wasn't out there with the things of the makings of what, quote unquote, somewhat the hood was. And so sometimes when people are fronting, like she said, it's like, you grew up in the hood, bro. You're not of the streets. It's two.
It's crazy because my guy teased me from Philly. He like, y'all got grass. like people in Detroit got landscaping and trees. Like, is this the hood? When you gonna take you to the hood? I'm like, I live in the hood. He's like, no, when we get there.
Listen,
like, I don't even have a lawn.
When you see you went back to Philadelphia with him?
No, yeah.
Listen, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
So, but when you go to Philly, you understand when you gonna be like, oh yeah, this the motherfucking hood. Mm-hmm. Like when your trash is in front of your doorstep, not on the car.
To do what?
So the garbage man can pick it up.
No one gets that.
I don't get it either.
You understand? Your trash. You know how we take our trash to the curb?
Correct. Yeah.
Their trash is at their door.
Oh.
Because the sidewalk is no bigger than from this door to this chair.
Oh, it's close. Oh, it's like the houses is over there now.
Oh, ain't no grass.
Ain't no grass. What you trying to say? Like, why ain't y'all got no grass in Philadelphia?
And they don't have no porches.
Huh?
They have stoops.
Oh.
So like brownstones?
No.
Oh.
Like a stoop. You have one big step that you can sit on, and 2 to 3 other little steps you can walk down on.
Wow.
That's the majority. That's south side.
I'm pretty sure there's a reasoning behind it.
I mean, there was the first colony. That was the first area where housing was built. So that everything was just all together. They row houses.
Okay.
So if one person on the street got roaches, everybody got roaches.
Oh Lord, that's a horrible thing to say.
One person got mice.
Is sharing?
Everybody got
caring
mice
at that point?
Yeah, Sharon is definitely caring in Philly, Baltimore, be more, yo. Listen, thank y'all for joining us. Thank you, Candace, for joining us today.
Thank you so much for being here.
Chanel, thank you for joining us.
God damn. Yours too. I'm doing something wrong. I need to stop drinking in the morning.
Especially brown rum. Listen, thank you for Shani on the ones and twos, bringing us to you. Our ghost guest, Tika.
Not too much on my mom.
Okay.
And before we go, tell us again about your mom's business and your business.
Yes. So my mom is the proud owner of Detroit Coffee Lodge. It's been a dream of hers for so long. So I'm very proud to see her fulfill her dream. Don't knock your coffee over.
I'm not. And it's Detroit coffee too.
Exactly. So that's why I can't knock it over. I'm very proud of her. It's amazing to see your parents live their dreams. I will say that.
Truly, I agree.
And because of her, I've been blessed to do many different things in my life, from car salesman to just whatever. She's very supportive in my business. She plugs me, I plug her. I'm the owner of Rose Cocktails, like I said, available for parties, birthdays, personal events, anything you could need liquor for, I'm available.
How can they reach you?
I have an Instagram. My Instagram is Chanel_A_Rose. I have Facebook. It's Chanel Alexandria Rose. And if you need to reach me, Mr. Miles has my number as well.
Okay. Yeah, I do. Damn, I forgot that. Yeah. Candace, tell us where they can find you at.
You can find me on Instagram, Photography by Candace Page, and on Facebook at Candace Page Photography.
All right, we gotta get y'all some websites.
I'm gonna say, and my website too. I'm sorry. So my website, you can get to my website through my Instagram, which is still the same, which is photographybycandacepage.com.
Okay, there you go.
We roll it across the board. We try to make it simple.
Where can we find your business at?
You can find me in rehab. Hey guys, I'm Lake Butler, Lake B Essence Photography, but more so, you can find me here at 1 p.m. today on stream, where I will be interviewing Brian Karstapin, the lead actor in Stranger in Our House by Renika McQueen, as well as I don't know the name of the movie. I watched it last night though. It's a boxing movie and it was amazing. He's also in A Family Divided. So if you come back here at 1 p.m., you will get to meet this young brother because he is an amazing actor. And you guys just find me. You know what I'm saying? Lake Butler, the person, not the place.
Right. That's why you say person.
Yes.
Dermel.
Why are you pointing at me?
That's your piece. He said,
that's my piece.
He said, exactly. At the grass, full porches are rare. Very true. He said, Dixon, you're on point. Listen, Philly, I love Philly. I would go to Philly at least 6-7 times a year. Because I love the culture. I love the black culture. Plus, they criminals ain't really criminal, right? Because you can see them coming. You know what I mean? They be putting their mask on. Hey, rob the guy in the black jacket. And you be like, you know what I mean? So,
that's that organized crime for you.
Well,
Okay?
the small sidewalks, right? Like it's only two of us.
My cousin used to jump. My cousin used to jump from one sidewalk to the other. That's how small the streets are.
Oh.
And they can't even park on the street. They can park half their cars on the sidewalk and half of their cars in the street.
They have driveways. This is getting really interesting.
No driveways.
Like, I think we need to go to Philly. I'm like, I want to see this amazing shit.
Look, y'all want to go to Philly?
Yes. Not with you.
Shut. I don't like your attitude today.
Okay, so one thing I want everybody to tune in next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we are going to have more empowering women, but we're going to focus on the vote and politics next week. So I would love for you guys to come back so we can talk a little bit more about this pivotal time in our lives right now.
Definitely.
With this, it's very, very important that this is a life or death situation the way I feel. Yeah.
So, oh my God, not life or death.
Close to it.
Close to it. Hey, y'all, we got to get out of here. Thank y'all for joining us on the Rise the Ground Morning Show today. Everybody who's watching, we really appreciate it. Share, like, follow, share, like. That sounds like
Rise and grind.
All right, we out. Peace.
Bye.
Hey, hey. Rise and grind for your daily news. Rise and grind, grinding just for you. Rise and